Yasir Al-Rumayyan, and I actually think him being here is actually huge for Newcastle. And obviously, when he comes over, usually things start to happen. They've held this kind of transfer or strategy meeting before the game on Saturday. He was in on the pitch talking to players individually. But I think just sitting there watching the game would be massive for Newcastle and Eddie Howe, because he'll look at the options Eddie Howe has got. Isaac coming off is the prime example. If he's sitting there, you might be looking at the players and going, right, well, you've got Isaac, you've got Wilson, and you've got Gordon who can play there. If you need to, Joe Linton maybe can fill in. The striker department's all right. But then I think actually watching the game in person and watching just how flat Newcastle became after Isaac went off, or even when Isaac was on because he wasn't himself, I think it kind of works in Eddie Howe's favour. It works in Steve Nixon's favour when the chairman has got to see it through his own eyes.
Yeah, well, look, he's made a bit of a habit, hasn't he, of coming over for the end of season games, and as you mentioned there, that summit that they held in Northumberland last week has become sort of a regular occurrence. We obviously saw a lot of that in the Amazon documentary, and while it was being briefed as sort of a a business, what was it briefed as? Sort of a business strategy meeting rather than a transfer summit. There will obviously be an eye on the summer. And look, the track record is he comes over, they have these meetings, and they spend a lot of money in the summer windows. It's happened 2 years in a row.
Do you think, and obviously we don't know what was said, what was really discussed, but do you think him being over maybe is the green light for things to start as quick as possible?
Yeah, I think so. Look, I think Newcastle are now, look, touch wood, I don't want to jinx it. They now look like they're going to be in Europa League. I think before they could get the ball rolling on the summer, they really needed to know whether they're going to have European football to rely on, one, for attracting players, and two, purely for the financial aspect of it. Eddie Howe continues to insist to us that, no plans have been put forward yet, but, him and Steve Nixon and Andy Howe, his nephew, will have their targets, and they'll want to know, whether it's in the budget to do it. And I think they'll get the ball rolling as soon as the season finishes on Sunday.